Do you want all you can get? I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633. The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
All right, for the balance of the hour, Governor Jesse Ventura joins us for this exclusive interview. And we're going to get into the open announcements of the federalization of the internet, the march towards war with Iran. We're going to cover Lieberman and McCain's bill to secretly arrest U.S. citizens outside of judicial law. And only an act of Congress can order your release or even find out where you are. We're going to discuss all of this today. And he's also had some really spooky things happen. I wish he could tell you more, but he'll tell you as much as he can. With his contract with TruTV, he can't, ahead of the season, tell you what's happening with the production. But it is wild what is going on. So that's coming up later in the hour. But for folks that just joined us, Governor, you were getting into a few weeks ago when you did Larry King, one of the only interviews you've done since you got back from Mexico, and they had this congressman on calling for the censorship of this Oliver Stone movie about Latin American leaders, Hugo Chavez, and their systems of government. And whether you agree with the film or hate the film, you shouldn't call for censoring it. But you've seen the film. Break down why you think it's viewing that everybody should see.
Well, everybody should see it because Oliver shows clearly what the truth is, and then shows how our mainstream media completely lie to us. They tell us a completely different story about the truth of what's going on. And the other thing that's huge is that the South American people, all they want to do is control their own destiny. They don't want us meddling and attempting to do things down there that we've been doing for decades and decades. Like one of the leaders says, I'll be happy to have a United States military base in my country if they'll give me one by Miami. Now, isn't that fair? How is it that we can put military bases in all these foreign countries, yet they can't put any here?
Well, on top of that, we've got...
I mean, it's just things like that. And the other thing is, Alex, is they're now banding together 6 or 8 of the countries down there, and they're not going to do business necessarily on foreign policy with the U.S. unless Cuba's included. And I think that's a wonderful idea.
Well, the quickest way to bring more freedom to Cuba would be to end the embargo.
Absolutely. The embargo is a miserable failure. It doesn't hurt Castro or his brother a bit. The only thing it harms is the Cuban people. That's the only thing.
Let's talk about that. You have met Fidel Castro, and then you actually got followed by the CIA. Tell folks what happened when you were in Cuba, when you were governor, and the aftermath of that.
Well, it was just, I'm probably the only elected official who actually sat down with Fidel Castro, and I had an hour with him, and it was when he was in better health. This was back in 2002. Since then I've heard, it's only what I've heard that he's had health problems. But at the time I met him, he was sharp as a whip. I mean, you couldn't get a thing by him. In fact, when I was sitting with him, I only had an hour. I wore a watch, and I happened to just glance down at my watch to see that I had 20 minutes left. Castro was so perceptive immediately, and I just glanced. And when I looked up, he said, "I'm sorry, am I keeping you from something?" And I, of course, was honest. I said, "No, sir." I said, "But I know I only have an hour with you." And I glanced at my watch, and I see that I only have 20 minutes left. And I'd like to ask you some personal questions if I could. And he said to me, "Ask me anything you want." And so then I went in and asked him about the murder of John F. Kennedy, because it was something that I had studied for the better part of my adult life. And here I had a chance to talk to someone who was right in the middle of it, and who in some scenarios he was attempted to be blamed for it. And so I wanted to get his perception of what happened back then. And, if you're open-minded like me, I realized that to every story, there's going to be 3 or 4 sides to that story. And to fully understand the story, you need to talk to 3 or 4 sides. And that's the problem, again, getting back to our country today, Alex. We're not getting 3 or 4 sides. We're getting one.
Well, as you've said, we have the two parties that are really almost identical twins, and they give us basically different flavors of poison Kool-Aid, but at the end of the day, there's really no difference.
No, there's none whatsoever. It's all the stuff that's coming out, and then we'll transition now. Let's go to the show. We've been out shooting some episodes, and last week I spent the whole 2 to 3 days basically under surveillance by Homeland Security and tailed by the Coast Guard and all other sorts of stuff. And we weren't doing anything illegal at all. We were merely going somewhere to film something.
Well, they've got to know that Governor Jesse Ventura isn't going to stage a terror attack.
Well, I would think they wouldn't. I think that my record speaks for itself, that I love my country, but that I'm a firm believer, Alex, that before you go out and chastise someone like Hugo Chavez, that you should make sure that your own backyard is clean and tidy and up to snuff.
Can you even give people...
say that about the United States of America today. We have a lot of problems in our own backyard that we ought to take care of instead of meddling in everyone else's business.
Can you give people a hint as to the type of thing you were trying to get a look at?
Well, we just wanted to film a certain location in the country. And we were in the water. We were in international water. And we just wanted to photograph what was there. And we were tailed by the Coast Guard and put under surveillance by Homeland Security.
Well,
and before we could even go out, we had a whole harbor of boats that wouldn't take us because of fear of Homeland Security.
And now,
Alex, isn't Homeland Security there supposed to be protecting us?
Yes, they are.
Then why are they striking fear into United States citizens, red, white, and blue people through and through, like me and you, and like a lot of these fishermen? Why are they spreading that type of fear to them?
Well, it's come out in Homeland Security documents that they wear the black uniforms to intimidate.
I don't know about all that, but you know what? I'm starting to call them the Gestapo. And that's some pretty strong words, Alex.
It is. Elaborate on that, Governor.
Well, to me, they seem to be some sort of security force that's getting control of everything everything in our country now, and they supersede anything else because they're federal. Much the same as the federales in Mexico.
Well, they've also been caught breaking the law, spying without warrants on American citizens, that even in non-terror-related cases. And they don't want you showing the public what you were showing because there's 36 of those they're building around the country, and it's not defensive. But I better be quiet at that.
No, and you're, what you're talking about is not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I knew you guys were working on that other thing.
No, we're working on all sorts of different stuff right now. We got 8 to 10 episodes to do, and I'm already working on 3 to 4 right now as we speak. Some days I'm doing this episode, other days I'm doing that one.